The honourable member for Halifax Needham.
Mr. Speaker, my question is for the Premier. There are now more than 5,000 people on the wait list for public housing, and Metro Regional Housing Authority has stopped housing people who are not on the priority access list. This government has doubled down on allocating rent supplements as a solution, but they are easily passed over by landlords who have dozens of applicants for units with cash in hand ready to move in immediately. The result is an impending homelessness crisis. Mr. Speaker, when will the Premier admit that rent supplements do not work in this sort of housing market?
The Honourable Minister of Housing, Nova Scotia.
Thank you very much, Mr. Speaker, and thank the honourable member for the question. At no time have we ever stood and said in this province, the Premier, myself, or anyone else inside this chamber or outside this chamber, that there aren't challenges with the housing issues and concerns in Nova Scotia and looking after those people that need housing, Mr. Speaker. That's why we have made a single largest investment in housing in the recent budgets announced yesterday, $20.5 million, Mr. Speaker, which is a strategy. That money will all go into a strategy, Mr. Speaker, to see that people in Nova Scotia that are homeless or on the verge of being homeless are going to be looked after, Mr. Speaker. We are going to hire 27 more housing support workers that have a direct impact, Mr. Speaker. There's a history that will show you, Mr. Speaker, over 1,200 people were housed in the last year or more by the work that those housing support workers do, and we will continue to support them and those looking for housing in Nova Scotia. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
The honourable member for Halifax Needham.
Mr. Speaker, one reason why we need more housing support workers is because it is taking double and twice and four times as long to find a unit for somebody to move into who is already connected with a housing support worker, because there are no units available. The government has announced that it will build a mere 39 new housing units this year, none of which will be owned or operated publicly. In the meantime, it will funnel $10 million over this year and next to private landlords in the form of rent supplements. Meanwhile, Montreal has just announced it will be exercising its right of first refusal to acquire land to build social housing. And municipalities across the country are creating affordable housing reserves, building new purpose-built rental units and more. And in all of those cases, strong provincial partnerships are key. Yet this government insists on transferring millions of dollars of our tax dollars to private landlords instead of actually investing in affordable housing. Mr. Speaker, why does this government insist on private market free-for-alls instead of meaningful solutions to the homelessness crisis?
The Honourable Minister of Housing, Nova Scotia.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, I couldn't disagree more with the honourable member and her thought around what rent subs do or what private conversations do or with private contractors, not-for-profits, Mr. Speaker, co-op housing. We are working with many more partners out there, Mr. Speaker, right across this province. And the fact that she doesn't see any value in housing support workers, Mr. Speaker, is too bad, because what we know is that is progress that is being made. They know, Mr. Speaker, where the vacancies are. They're the ones on the ground that are helping these people, the direct benefit to them, helping us get them placed, Mr. Speaker. Every day in this province, those folks are working hard, and we're very pleased in this budget to announce, Mr. Speaker, the funds to go toward an additional 27 more to help with that caseload that member referred to. Thank you very much, Mr. Speaker.